What is up, everyone? We're going to do a little voiceover on this one so I can point out some of the scenery to you guys. We didn't get to fish too long, unfortunately. As you can see, this is the map that we did, and all that squiggly stuff in the middle on the left is where we were off trail. We got a little lost, and we ended up finding our way later, and then we fished the river for just a little bit before we ended up having to turn out and go back. But we did get to see some really cool views along this trail to fish Mono Creek. There was a ton of these little ponds from the snowmelt. That is Doris Lake down there at the bottom that you can see. And as we pan around here, we will see Tule Lake in just a second. There it is down there. In a scene coming up, you'll actually see us walking right by Tule Lake on our way to fish Mono Creek. But the views of the mountains around and everything else were spectacular, and the camera does it absolutely no justice at all. The granite rock in the Sierras is pretty spectacular with how it's all kind of laid out. Here we are coming up on Tule Lake right now. There's a lot more tules here now than when I remember the last time I fished this river was a couple years ago, and now this is a lot more tules than it is lake. But this is a pretty popular hiking spot to go to. People come to this lake and kind of picnic for the day, hang out. I think you can actually cliff jump off of the rock over on the other side there. This is a naturally formed kind of glacier lake, so once all the snow melts off, this is kind of where it all pools up, and it's extremely deep. This is the tree from the creek fire. The creek fire did rip through this area, and it's pretty crazy how it burned some of these trees all the way down through the roots, so there's big holes in the ground too. And here's the creek, Mono Creek. Water's pretty low right now, and it just kind of, we end up rock hopping our way along this as we fish. Polarized sunglasses so you can see in the water a little better. There are lots of little brown trout swimming around in there. And here's the first little brown trout that I caught of the day. Blaney enjoying her time in her new backpack. That's a new addition for us, which is much better for her and for me. It's a lot more comfortable than having her in the front pouch thing that we had her in before. And there's a fish. And he got off. Another little brown. End up catching a couple out of here. This is pretty much what the majority of this river is like, especially at low water conditions. You're just rock hopping along all the way up the river. And I apologize, I had the camera pointed up a little too high from this viewpoint, so you can't see a whole lot. And that's going to be about it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to fish for too long before we had to turn out and go back. We went pretty late in the afternoon, and with getting off trail, I didn't want us to run out of daylight basically. So we ended up turning around and going back pretty much right after this point here. So thanks for watching, and like, subscribe, and we'll see you for the next one.